No matter how long I've been in New Zealand, people always see me as different. Every time people meet me for the first time, they ask me where I'm from. A lot of times I just say Hamilton because that's normally the first thing that comes to mind, especially when I'm in Auckland. And they're always like, no, where are you like really from? I just don't look like a typical New Zealander, I guess. And the challenge is to change people's perceptions of what a New Zealander is. My name is Nasalifya Namwinga, but everyone calls me Sally. I was born in Zambia and I moved to New Zealand in 2006 with my family from Wales. I'm living in Auckland now and I'm studying psychology and criminology. I thought if I moved to Auckland, which is a bigger city, there'd be more diversity and I wouldn't be the only black girl in class. I still am oftentimes I'm the only black person in my lectures. Most New Zealanders, I don't think, consider themselves racist. There were times me and my mother were walking somewhere and people would yell out like effing black B, like people still to some extent think it's okay to say those things. My family at the moment are living in Hamilton. One of the things that we do as a family is we go to church together. It's important to us because, not just because my parents are the pastors, but because we all have that in common. Like, we all have our faith in common as a family. I think it's really special, and that's something we really value. Mum is a nurse. She's just the rock of our family. Dad, he's really loving as well, and he's working as a probation officer at the moment. My relationship with my brothers has always been good. I think we're each other's best friends. So when we're all together, like as a family, we eat. Everyone sits down and we eat and we talk. That's like where we have most of the important conversations that we have. So what do you guys think about applying for citizenship and getting New Zealand passports? Because I'm thinking of applying for mine this year.
I had a problem with that because I didn't want to lose my citizenship. I still wanted to hold on to being a Zambian.
Zambian passport. What about the hospital? Clearly they don't think of you as a Kiwi, do they?
No. There have been issues sometimes where some patients sometimes don't want me to look after them, but they won't say it outrightly.
My experience is slightly different. My colleagues go out of their way to try and make sure that I'm comfortable, and sometimes it can be a little bit
too much.
Yeah, but as soon as they get used to you, you can almost be sure they are going to ask, how long have you been speaking English?
19 years.
Yeah.
I think the worst question is, did you live in a hut? Like, do you ride lions when you're from? Like, yes, I did. Right there in my backyard. There's also toilets.
Hi, my name is Sally, and the poem that I'm going to do is called She Moves. She moves, glistening through the fog, waist winding, hands raised. The thing that I'm really most passionate about is spoken word poetry. It's one of those things that changes people. When you hear it, you just can't help but be drawn into it, and you just can't help but want to understand that person. It always leaves something in you that you would not have had before you heard it. And silent, she moves, till she doesn't move anymore. What I'm hoping to get out of doing spoken word poetry is getting New Zealanders to see me as just as Kiwi as they are, and to get Zambians to also see me as being just as Zambian as they are, because I'm struggling with the feeling that I have to give up one for the other, and I don't feel that that should be the case, because I am both. I'm Zambian and I'm a Kiwi.
How's things with you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm thinking of applying for New Zealand citizenship.
Really?
Have you got yours? You've
Yeah.
got yours, eh?
But my parents did it.
My passport's expired, so I sort of need to do I need to do it. Did you have to get rid of your Nigerian citizenship when you did yours?
I don't think so, because I've still got a Nigerian passport.
Okay.
And I've got a New Zealand passport. Yeah. So I think I'm a citizen of both. Yeah.
Because I have to give up my Zambian one.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
Because we don't have dual citizenship.
So you have to pick one of the two.
Yeah.
Are you picking New Zealand?
I don't know yet. Not really ever going to be a Kiwi. Do you feel like you're a Kiwi because you have a New Zealand citizenship?
Yeah. Well, we've pretty much got the same rights as any other New Zealander with a passport.
But then do you feel like people see you like a Kiwi?
No. But does it matter?
How do you think you could change that?
You can't. We're not white. I don't know that we'd ever be seen as Kiwis.
I think by doing poetry and being out there and seeing, you know how if you do your modeling or your acting thing, more people will see an African person in New Zealand TV and they'll be like, oh, okay, that could identify as a Kiwi. Mm-hmm. So I want to do that with poetry.
That's cool.
Hey guys!
Hi, Sully. Yay for your first gig for Auckland Writers Festival, man.
Yeah.
Took me years to get here, and it only took you 1 year.
Thanks, Grace.
No, that's awesome.
I'm going to be performing at the Writers and Readers Festival this weekend.
So I got to introduce you to Luca Lesson from Australia.
Nice to meet you. Luca Lesson is a really, really amazing poet. And I think out of everyone, I'm the most intimidated by him and performing on stage with him.
So I heard you're the bomb. I heard you're the best of the best. Rumors are fake, huh?
Are never true.
Bunch of lies.
Yeah. Most of the pieces that I've seen of his are activist type poems, using his poetry to sort of motivate people and motivate change, I mean. I would love to do that with my poetry. Hey, Soph.
Yeah.
You know how did I tell you how I put the N-word poem up on YouTube?
No.
Oh, okay, I did, and I got some interesting responses from one person in particular.
Really?
Yeah. The N-word poem. I wrote that poem about one experience that I'd had walking home from school one day. Someone drove past in a car and screamed nigger out. And I remember at that point I was thinking to myself, what possessed him to say that, to yell that out of a car? Because it wasn't the first time that had happened. And it makes me really mad, and it just makes me angry because I feel like sometimes people kind of have that mentality that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, because words do hurt. So I put my N-word poem up on YouTube, and I got an interesting comment from this guy who thought racism isn't that bad and minorities just need to get over it and move on because at least slavery's over. That was his perspective on it.
So, like, how do you feel about performing the N-word poem then, after reading all these comments?
Like, after I saw the comments, I spoke to my mom and she told me that I just need to get used to the fact that if I'm going to say things that might upset people, I have to get used to people not always responding positively to it. I'm still going to do it.
I think you should, because it's one of those things that everyone thinks about, but everyone's too scared to mention.
Yeah, I'm still nervous, but I'm okay with it.
So, did you get to meet that Luca guy?
Yeah, he's really nice. Like, he's really, like, down to earth. He's so funny. Oh, and there's this poem, Please Resist Me. It's so good.
Please resist me, colonize me, compromise me, conflict me. Please don't risk me.
Most of his poems about, like, political and, you know, like my N-word one, sort of.
Oh, okay.
But better.
Oh, right.
So it's better to live a life like us, isn't it?
I feel like a fish out of water. I've only been performing for a year and now I'm on stage with all these amazing international artists.
Apollo himself stood forth, took the quill from my hand, took the black sticky ink from the most ancient squid and filled it and said, look, write with this ink and may it come to your defense as it has for this old squid against every fisherman who has ever lived, as it has for every anarchist, freedom fighter and activist. They'll tell you actions speak louder than words until your words make people act like this.
Nigger, he yelled, hiding behind a wheeled metallic cage. I wondered what he meant. I wondered if the reason those people may have yelled out that word to me or other black people in New Zealand may not have been to really hurt that person, but that's the result of that word. And no matter how much people try and sugarcoat it and say, oh, you know, you just need to understand that they're just being silly or they're just young or they're just kids. I think if you don't tell kids or young people or silly people or, well, ignorant people that their consequences of their actions, they'll keep going around and performing that action and thinking that it's okay because no one tells them. The poem forces people to hear what I think when I hear people yell that word.
How'd you feel you went in the gig just then?
I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was good fun.
Did you feel good up there?
Once I got started, yeah. But not before.
Yeah, nervous first, huh?
Yeah. So do you think that poetry and spoken word can change the world?
Poetry definitely changes things. And I'll tell you why I think poetry changes things. I've seen poetry change things. In certain places that I've been to in the States, in New York at the New Rican or in Denver at Slam Nuba, people have been learning from each other through poems for a long period of time in these places. They haven't been going home and looking at the TV and seeing the reports about refugees.
Yeah.
They've been listening to poems written by refugee young people.
Yeah.
And learned from them, you know, directly. And those communities that I've witnessed, they have changed their points of view on racism. They've changed their points of view on sexism, on, you know, feminist issues or, youth issues, migration or anything, you know. So I think poetry, as a form of activism is very, very powerful.
I have this idea to get a group of African people from university together and do a few poetry workshops and then get us to go out and perform in a public place. Yeah, and I was gonna do the N-word poem in a huge crowd and lead with yelling out nigger in a public place. Yeah, so that's my big plan. Any advice?
Any advice?
About that?
Shout it as loud as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey guys. Ooh.
Hey. Seen you at 8.
Yeah, a long time no see. How are you?
Good, not too bad.
Good. Hey. How are you?
Hey,
Nice to see you. I'm Nina.
I started this group and we're gonna write a poem together. So it's gonna be like a big collab spoken word piece that we're gonna perform. I guess the main point was to talk about what we feel like living in New Zealand, because that's a story that no one's heard, I think. Because you hear about what other nationalities feel like living in New Zealand, but the African story hasn't been told. So I guess the point of it, and which is the reason why I think it's good to do it out, like in a public place, is to sort of put it out there to people that may never hear it.
Were you guys born here?
No, we were born in the UK.
Oh.
But we were raised here. But we were raised here, so yeah. Like we've been here coming up 22 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where do you guys consider home?
Yeah, definitely.
Here and kind of nowhere at the same time. Like Africa is such a big part of who I am, but at the same time, like I didn't grow up there. Don't quite speak the language, so it's like it's like a big part of who I am, but at the same time, like whole bunch of Kiwi slang, whatever, stubbies, All Blacks, like all that kind of stuff. So
I kind of feel lost sometimes too.
In general,
in relation to like home, like Nigeria, New Zealand.
I think if we could put that in words, like I think we're all in that situation, and I think that's good because we have like a common place to start when we write something.
And even the redefinition of what is a New Zealander as well. That's one of my little pet hates. Like, with folks saying, where are you from? Like, I have like a kind of reaction. Like, what do you mean? What's that supposed to mean? Like, do you mean where I was born? Where do I live? So it'd be kind of cool to have a redefinition of what a New Zealander is without having to let go of your own culture. Not that we want to deny who we are, but at the same time, like, New Zealander isn't just a white face.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. Yeah.
I'm really honored at the fact that people are putting so much effort into doing this, and I'm so glad that everyone's so excited about it and like taking time out of their own lives to do this. Hey, it's Sally, and we're at the last practice before we perform on Wednesday. A lot of times I thought I was the only one who was thinking those things about do I belong here, do I belong in Africa, do I belong in Zambia, where do I belong type thing. Yeah, it's just been really, really awesome to sit with a group of young Africans, almost in the exact same position as I am, and talk about these things.
You think I come from a land with dusty roads, wild animals, and hungry children? Let me tell you about Mama Africa. Let me tell you about tales of chiefs and their kinsmen.
A revolutionary is locked up in cages that couldn't hold the moment captive.
Africana intertwines with Kiwiana, but as quickly as acceptance comes, crowning the black baby with silver fern fronds, an icy hiss curls from the inside out. Where are you from? The color of my skin, my long braids. Eyes look over my dark complexion, my full lips, my wide nose. By default, I'm stacked in the category on the does not belong shelf.
Go back to your country, they say. Hey, I'm from the UK, by the way, and you are probably too, just a couple of generations beforehand. In fact, I think it was your fathers who came here searching for more land. But let's not get into specifics about who and when they crossed the Pacific. The point is, why can't I call this my home? Did you give me a reason, or did I miss it?
This process has made me realize that, well, if I don't see myself as a New Zealander, I can't really expect other people to see me as that. I needed to decide that I was a New Zealander and then sort of just take that identity as mine, and then if anyone has an issue with it, it's their issue and not mine.
Nigger! He yelled, hiding behind a wheeled metallic cage. I wondered what he meant. I I wondered if he'd seen something in my eyes that had failed to communicate humanity. Did my skin make his crawl like little black ants climbing up through the cracked pavement, forming this African figure he saw? Did he know that I know why the cage bird sings? Did he hear the freedom fighters paving my way home? Did he see my grandmother walking to the market, her pain-stained footprints forming lines for mine to follow? Did he see my father's nose? Like an old misshapen wound which my face carries, a reminder that for centuries my people were considered less than animals. A wound my brothers also carry. Did he hear the bitter taste of tears I've cried for my people who are made slaves in their own land, too poor to buy bread so they beg white faces who give enough? Just enough to sustain them, long enough to be chained in by debt which my great-great-great-grandchildren will still be paying. Did he see any of that when he rolled down his window, or did he just see a nigger walking down the street?